the final panel for the evening. They will be talking to us and showcasing the pilots of the Account Aggregator for financial inclusion. So a little background about this. Accion, along with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and Sahamati, have been working on a few financial inclusion projects using the Account Aggregator framework. This session will cover their learnings from these early pilots. So we have 3 panelists for this session. Thank you. Our first panelist is Mr. Rupal Sethi. He heads sales at CredRight Private Limited. Previously, Rupal was the head of the realty business at Atria Convergence Technologies. And prior to that, he's worked with multiple large organizations such as ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank as well. Welcome, Rupal. Let me now call upon our next panelist, Mr. Debdoot Banerjee, Senior Director of Accion. Debdoot is the Senior Director, Digital Strategy and Transformation with the Accion Advisory Team based in India. He leads scoping the digital transformation of financial service providers and is the product lead for Accion. He has more than 18 years of work-ex in banking and financial services and financial inclusion. Welcome, Debdoot. And let me now call upon Mr. Abhishek Varshney, representing Team Sahamati. He is the Senior Lead Partnerships, and we look forward to an interesting conversation. Yeah, please go ahead.
Hello? Yeah. So thank you again. Nikhil had ended the conversation by saying, I guess the audience has had enough for the day, but not quite. You have one more panel to, go through. Thank you so much for Sahamati and the organizers for giving us this opportunity. And thank you for the handful who are still left and have decided to brave on the Mumbai traffic. So I hope the best we can do is keep our conversation short and crisp, and we'll try and do that. A brief background of what we are trying to do. So Accion, supported by the Gates Foundation, conducted a research trying to understand what are the barriers that low-income customers with low digital maturity typically have in undergoing an account aggregator journey. The idea was, one, to try and reduce the friction points that's there in the account aggregator journey, and 2, figure out better use cases for the data that's coming from the account aggregator ecosystem. 1 year down the line, I think we have learned quite a bit. And rather than looking at it just as a report or findings, what we are trying to do now is implement what we have learned in pilots. And we have one such partner with us, Rupal from CredRight, who is, the CredRight is actually using some of these learnings to run a pilot. So I'll just pass it on to Rupal and ask him to introduce himself and the customer segment CredRight serves.
Thanks, Deb. Thank you, everyone. So I am part of CredRight Finance Private Limited. We are a Hyderabad-based company, and we are into funding of nano enterprises, customers who are mostly proprietorship firms and customers who are into business, self-owned, self-business customers. And our operations are in AP, Telangana, Tamil Nadu. Yeah.
Thanks so much, Rupal. Abhishek, why don't you also talk about what Sahamati has been doing in this project specifically?
So, with Accion and BMGF, we have been trying to take account aggregator to the specific segments where we see that the adoption has not much taken up. And through our interaction, we thought that we dwell upon the reasons and the companies who have been initial. So in our project, CredRight and Pehel has participated, and we have implemented this account aggregator framework. They have implemented the account aggregator framework in their company. We wanted to know more about what are their experience and the reason why they choose account aggregator. Hence, specifically targeting on double-clicking on 3 particular segments, which is into EV financing, nano businesses, and dairy farming. So this is what we plan to do with this project specifically.
So, taking a cue from what Abhishek said, just wanted to hear, why did you go for Account Aggregator? What did you think were the benefits? And probably sometime down the line, what are your learnings? What do you feel about Account Aggregator?
So, users of Account Aggregator has been kind of game changer in this segment. Whenever we think about Account Aggregator, generally people think about people who are salaried or people who are aware about internet and all those things. But having worked in this nano segment for a long time, for last 6 years, I believe that this is a segment where Account Aggregator makes a huge difference. Because our customers are business people, they are not very tech savvy. And for any kind of financial transaction today, you need bank statement. And for that, a customer has to spend time, either he has to go to bank or tell somebody something to go and do something. And AA takes out all this friction away. This is a task for our sales team also, because when they are doing, customer visit, onboarding, again, because without bank statement, nothing can move. So we find out that customers really like it, okay? And as a financial provider, it also helps us a lot because there is no time lag. We can quickly get the result. Another element is today many customers, in our understanding, we have seen 60 to 70% customers have multiple accounts. So customer will be using one account for some transactions. He might even be having internet banking or mobile banking, but in another account, he will not have anything. Maybe he's getting some kind of subsidies, etc. So when you want to assess the customer's complete financial picture, you need multiple bank account, and again, it takes a lot of time. So this was one thing which is really worked out, and in terms of our own sales team, because it was a task for our sales guy also to tell customer that, sir, please go get the bank account, and that also takes away a lot of work from our sales team part of view, because once A is fetched, the work is done. So that was one revelation, that customers whom even we were, we were thinking whether it will work or not, but it has worked a lot.
So I think I was talking to Rupal over the tea break, Abhishek, and one point that you also keep on making is that more than the mass affluent customers, I think it's the low-income customers who benefit much more. And I think throughout today's discussion, we have spoken of these couple of points, which is being more relevant for low-income customers, being gender intentional, and giving agency back to the customers. So Rupal, any figures that you have on what kind of benefits that it has brought in?
Yeah, so in terms of, time to process all the, loan applications, earlier bank statement fetch will take at least 3 days, because if customer doesn't have net banking or mobile banking, then he has to go to the bank. Lot of time he will go to the bank manager is not available. There is some issue. We have all seen those kind of things. So at least from 3 to 4 days of time to collect these documents. Now if A is working, it's like 5-minute or 10-minute job. So the whole journey becomes very smooth and very short. And our customers, in the morning somebody said in the discussion that customers are time sensitive. So it creates a huge impact when a customer needs money for purchasing stock, and you are able to give loan or financial assistance within 2 or 3 days, rather than taking 7 days when everyone is waiting for bank statement and wasting time. So that, plus also, it also takes away customer's effort, because customer doesn't want to, leave his shop, because if he leaves the shop, then business is impacted. No customer would like to spend 3-4 hours time going to the bank, or maybe going multiple time to multiple banks. So it's a huge saving for our customers that everything is happening in his shop or at his home. So the time is saved, a very important factor. Cost is also involved, because you are going. So we don't count the cost of going to the bank, but there is a cost. You have to pay for bank charges. You have to spend time. You have to go spend your petrol, etc. So everything works up for the customer. So I think in terms of cost as well as time, it is a huge factor for us. Plus also our team is also happy, because they don't have to worry about getting bank statement and roam around.
So Rupal, since you touched upon the sales team, so one of the factor which we have seen is the adoption at a sales team level when you bring any digital transformation projects, considering A would be one of the projects. How are you driving that change in the sales team in terms of how they can be pushed towards adopting from the current means to account aggregator? And also, do you see, is there any feedback from the sales team, like are they automatically switching, seeing the convenience they are getting?
So initially, everything has resistance. So initially there was little resistance because sometimes AFH will not work and then sales team will say, sir, it's not working. But my observation is technology has a way of sneaking into your life. Once you start using technology, once you get the benefit, you can't get out of it. So same thing has happened with our sales team initially, education of the customer. Sales team has to put in the effort for OTP, consent. Again, as we have seen, customers are also hesitant. Why should I give OTP? Why you are asking me to click here? So those kind of things, sales manager has to overcome the resistance, and sometimes they don't want to do it. Why to get into this? Just tell customers, sir, give me bank statement. I will come in the evening. But once they realize that it's a time-saving device, it's an effort-saving device, and they understood the importance of this customer communication and informing them, and when customers start seeing the benefit, then today there is no resistance. Rather, in some cases when A not works because of multiple factors, sales team will come and complain that, sir, right now A is not working. Is there any problem with the sales app, or is there any problem in the mobile network? We want a resolution because customer also is happy and we are also happy. So once the benefit starts accruing it and once people talk to each other, I think today there is no resistance, rather they want AA to happen.
Since you touched upon the customer is a bit skeptical about OTP, what are the challenges you see overall in terms of adoption, or from a customer angle or from sales team? Or while you adopted account aggregator, were there any challenges you can talk about?
Yes, definitely. As we said, OTP is one. Because today we hear all those scary stories about. Second is when you talk about consent, then customers are also skeptical. And then again, whether you will use this data for something else, whether then time-bound consent is also another factor where customer sometimes they don't want you to give you this consent for a longer period of time. So basically, misuse of their money, the data is a very important concern in customer mind. Please. We also seen that even customers who are not so affluent, they are more worried. So what they say is, I have this much money in my account and something happens, then what? So that was one thing. Second is again, sometimes because of mobiles, because of network issues, it will fail. Then again, you have to go back again, do it. So these are the practical problems which happens in the field. So data security, money security is a huge concern, and a lot of education effort we are doing it. We have to inform the customers. Also, sometimes customers are skeptical about private companies. Like, you are not a bank, you are not, some big name bank or PSU bank. Then why do you need it? So what will you do? So those are the challenges which we face.
So Abhishek, I think that's what our research had also shown. So we had conducted qualitative research, and I think we've discussed this. Basically, the customer lacks agency over the data that she owns. So we are working on a solution which will try and help customers who are not very. See, typically what happens is that the self-service journey itself is very intimidating at times for customers. Then on top of that, you're moving from one platform to another for account aggregator, and that can get very confusing. Plus, OTPs, multiple OTPs. The customer often doesn't understand and just goes through this process because she needs the loan at the end of it. So we are trying to develop something which is basically on top of the app flow, which will guide the customer on account aggregator through a contextualized, localized voiceover. We have a short demo of it, maybe a couple of minutes or so. If it's possible, we could just play that. Yeah.
Thanks for choosing AA to fetch your account details in your lending journey. To proceed further, please choose your preferred language from the options available on your screen. आपने अपने लोन यात्रा में बैंक की जानकारी प्राप्त करने के लिए AA को चुना है। इसके लिए धन्यवाद। अकाउंट एग्रीगेटर्स रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया द्वारा मान्यता प्राप्त संस्था है जो आपके बैंक अकाउंट की जानकारी सुरक्षित रूप से प्रदान करती है। अधिक जानकारी के लिए आप नीचे दिए गए वीडियो को देख सकते हैं या आप इस लिंक में दिए गए विवरण को पढ़ सकते हैं। आपके बैंक अकाउंट की जानकारी के लिए हमने अकाउंट एग्रीगेटर के साथ साझेदारी की है। अकाउंट एग्रीगेटर रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया द्वारा मान्यता प्राप्त संस्था है जो आपके बैंक अकाउंट की जानकारी सुरक्षित तरीके से प्राप्त करती है। अकाउंट एग्रीगेटर न तो आपके बैंक डिटेल्स को पढ़ सकती है, न ही इकट्ठा करती है। ये केवल आपके बैंक अकाउंट की जानकारी प्रदान करती है जिससे आपको लोन प्राप्त करने में आसानी हो। अकाउंट एग्रीगेटर पर रजिस्टर करने के लिए 3 से 5 मिनट का समय लग सकता है।
So yeah, this video is about what a couple of minutes more, but in the interest of time, we'll probably stop it here. I think you get the picture. This is a layer which lies on top of any app or any account aggregator app, and no matter what the language of the app is, the customer is able to navigate through it because of the voiceover. So this is something that we are trying out with Reverie Language Technologies, and we're happy to share this information, knowledge with any account aggregator who wants to try this out. We'll also be trying this in a pilot going forward. Coming back to the point that you were making largely on the assisted, the importance of loan officers, yes, understanding that, I think that we have seen is a very important part of the loan officer evangelizing account aggregator. Because a customer, it's essentially a B2B2C product. So customer doesn't essentially see the benefits unless the loan officer talks to her during the loan process. So what we are trying to do, and I have a couple of my colleagues here who are working on creating training modules for the loan officers. Yes. And we'll be trying this out with our partners like CredRight, where loan officers will do in-person training, we'll send them short videos to help them explain on why this is important. This tagged with what we are doing for customers. So the go-to-market strategy will be one, informing the customers, and two, telling the loan officers to evangelize this. Both of them put together actually shows a lot of difference. So comparing, let's say, Rupal, who has been using Account Aggregator for a while, the numbers have gone up significantly from the initial days, largely because the loan officer today knows the benefit, yes, of it. So we'll again play a quick short video, maybe for a couple of minutes, to show what the training looks like. We're still working on it.
Raj, you look worried. Can I help?
My customer's file is incomplete. I've been waiting several days now. I have not been able to log in the file for the last 10 days because of bank statement not being there. Even today the customer is not able to get the bank statement as the bank is too far away and he has forgotten his internet banking ID.
Why don't you use the account aggregator to get the bank statement? It's simple and you can get the bank statement in an instant. Account aggregators are RBI authorized institutions who can share financial information like the bank account details only with the customer's permission. Information is shared directly with the lender, so customers save time and money and doesn't have to get their statement themselves. Account aggregators cannot read or store the financial information themselves.
But how can my customer register for this account aggregator ID?
It's easy. Getting an account aggregator's registration is a simple process of signing up using an OTP.
Really? I did not know that.
It's really simple. The customer can get their bank statements from any banks they choose. Also, the bank statement that you get is fraud-proof and genuine.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to share this with my customers and help them get their loans faster.
So my colleagues Shweta, Parth, Sethi, who are here have created this, and Essentially, this can be translated into multiple languages. At the end, there could be some gamification attached for the loan officer to get involved. This will act in addition to the classroom training or in-person training that we do. These can be sent on WhatsApp. These are very bite-sized videos which can be easily ported. Essentially, what I was talking about is that getting the loan officer involved is extremely important, and we are targeting that in the pilots that we are doing. A third quick aspect of this is essentially data. And I won't take much time, but I think there are very interesting use cases of data that we are going to try. First is delinquency management. So Rupal, you want to talk about how data can be used both for delinquency management as well as credit appraisal?
Yeah, so as you know, loan underwriting is all about data. The more data you have, the better underwriting you will do. So what happens is that because account aggregator helps us in automating the process, getting all the information at one place, so underwriting decision is faster and easier. Second is in terms of fraud management, it's a very critical tool because when the data is directly coming from the sources, so manipulating of any data is not possible. So we are also assured that whatever banking we are seeing, it is genuine. A lot of time, people will try to manipulate the bank statement, fake entries, fake information. So all those things can be taken care of. Third is in terms of credit under collection also, it's a big help that when we see the complete picture, and after loan also if we are getting this information, so it gives us some early warning signals if the banking is suddenly going down or some kind of different kind of transactions are happening. That gives us an idea that something is missing and maybe we should go and check what is happening. So that way it helps us in controlling the fraud and controlling the collection issues also.
So something as simple as predicting whether the bank account has insufficient balance and giving an alert to the customer to prevent ECS bounce can help. We are also working on probabilistic cash flow models, especially in the dairy segment, where data that's coming into the bank account will be able to help us assess the income and expense of the customer. So we've signed up 5 such pilots where we are, 1, trying out the revised journey, 2, doing the training and the awareness with customers, and 3, we are looking at use cases of data both for credit writing and delinquency management. So that's where we largely are. You want to add something, Abhishek? Okay. So I think Kunal Shah started the day by saying that too much of a good thing is bad. So too much of a food causes being unfit. So too much of information as well. So today I think we are a little bit on overload. So I'll end the day here, but just with a video which talks about a 90-second video which talks about what this project is all about. And please feel free to contact any of us if you have any queries. Thank you so much. Thanks, Rupal.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Abhishek.
Thank you, Abhishek.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for this. Please stay on. We'd like to give you a little token of our appreciation from Team Sahamati.